What's up, everyone? I'm Joe Lemon, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Real Value Exchange. Honestly, this is one of those things where I've watched the numbers grow month over month, and I know it's only because you guys are taking time to kind of share it, tell a friend, rate it, pass it on, repost, whatever you're up to, retweet, and I want to thank you guys for that, all that love out there. And I want to encourage you, if you haven't already done it, please leave a rating on iTunes. It really helps me out, so I want to thank you guys for doing that. And if there's a problem, you can always hit me directly, and we can figure it out on Twitter, just like all the rest of the Instagram beef. But honestly, I want to dive right into this show today with Jeff Turnbow. Jeff Turnbow is a media guy. Man, he's worked with, all types, all channels of media, and he has tons of experience in helping medium and small companies grow. And the reason why I really enjoyed this conversation with Jeff is because I personally like working with medium and small companies. I've worked with a couple Fortune 500s in the past, and it's okay, but it gets a little, let's say, impersonal, right? And whenever you're that close to the CEO or close to the passion or close to the vision, it just makes the day so much more full for me. So that's why I like watching smaller companies come up, and that's what I'm about as well. So enjoy this episode with Jeff Turnbow and his son Alton.
Resync is a new patent-pending nitric oxide formula loaded with healthy extracts such as red spinach, the newest and only standardized natural nitrate on the market, aronia berry, top antioxidant in the world, and red beets, all three of which are nitric oxide precursors. What else do you get in a one serving of Resync? Turmeric, ginger, mango extract, and inulin for savvy and health-conscious people just like you.
But if you think about it, it's kind of the exact opposite. It's kind of what you're saying. They're connected, man. I mean, they're way more connected than what we were. I mean, I had to go outside, find somebody, hit it, knock on their door, get them outside, or meet them somewhere in person. Maybe pick up the phone. I didn't like calling people, but because
Sure.
But I didn't like calling people, but I had to get with people to kind of have that relationship. But the youth coming up now, man, they have access like that. If you got a handle, you're in there, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you think about how the world is connected now through social media, I mean, it has literally, there's really been a social media revolution in the world.
Yep.
Because we are so connected now, and that connection itself has literally changed our world. I mean, from every different industry, whether it's politics or, culture or youth or music or whatever it is, that ability to connect, in those places has changed the world.
Well, man, I got to thank you for coming out to the show today. Extra thank you, because you had trials, you had a LA experience in itself, just even getting to the studio, man. I mean, so first I want to give you a proper introduction here, because you are a best-selling author, social media expert. I mean, you've been in it for 15 years. Is that right?
Yeah, man, I started when I was 10.
yeah, man, you were a wise 10-year-old, man.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're on the whole national speaking circuit, man. You're going around educating people about how to properly get set up and do that in a way that's going to be profitable. But we got some things that are already similar. It looks like one of our role models is like Zig Ziglar.
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite Zig Ziglar quote?
Ooh, wow.
You got one off top?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long day, but
Okay.
I think I'm pretty sure this is Zig. If you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want.
1,000%, man.
And that's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, really cool.
It's
Jeff,
probably my favorite of all quotes.
really?
Yeah, because it's all about, it's kind of like the golden rule. If you just focus on helping other people be successful, you don't have to worry about you being successful. You know what I mean? If you help enough other people get what they want, then you're obviously going to be successful.
100%.
So it's a great philosophy to run your business from.
Well, Jeff Turnbow and his son Alton, welcome to the podcast, man.
Yeah, Alton guy I kind of drug him in here, so we'll be easy on him. But.
Alton, I'm not going to force you to speak, so you're totally cool. But I mean, if you want to get on the mic and rep for any girls that are coming up in high school, man, it's not bad. You could be famous.
There you go.
Radio famous, man. Not sure any high schoolers listen to my podcast, but you never know.
Well, I'm sure they will after he gets back.
There we go.
He might share this.
Well, Jeff, man, you mind just kind of going a little bit into your background, man? So you're from Arkansas, right?
Actually from Tennessee.
Oh, 10, okay.
And moved to Arkansas about 15 years ago.
Cool.
So grew up in Tennessee, yes.
Which part of Tennessee?
Actually a small kind of town near Jackson and Memphis, Tennessee, kind of in that area. Yeah.
Okay.
Memphis is just the
West 10,
greatest. Yeah. West 10, 901 in the house. So it's Tennessee was amazing, and Arkansas kind of reminds me a lot of Tennessee. It's just a lot of similarities, especially in East Tennessee, and so that's just a great place to call home.
A lot of people say that there's good food everywhere, man, but I got to tell you, I get the best. I mean, the food is ridiculous out of Tennessee. It's on a different level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Barbecue nachos.
He was just saying, man, we need to find some barbecue nachos, and I said, man, there's a lot of good food in California.
There is,
but if you're gonna try to mess with barbecue nachos in California, I just don't know.
I wouldn't recommend it, man. I know a couple good barbecue spots on the West Coast, but I mean, they're out of San Diego. Nothing really in LA. I mean, LA's great for sushi if you guys are into that.
Yeah, fish, sushi, fresh, that stuff.
Yeah. If you want to eat cleaner, but if you want some food that's gonna feel like it's gonna stick to your ribs, gain a quick 10 pounds, like concrete in the belly type of feel, comfort food.
Yes,
Tennessee is the spot, man.
It for sure is, yeah. Man, you got me thinking about Nashville chicken and everything right now.
I mean, seriously though, man, all throughout the whole state, Eastern 10 and throughout Memphis, man. I mean, the food's legit. So,
it really is.
Well, man. So, how'd you get into this digital marketing movement at such an early stage? Like, I mean, I haven't talked to anybody who's been doing it for this long, honestly.
So, I'm really going to age myself here, but I actually started out in college to pursue a career in either politics or to be an attorney.
Cool.
So about 3 years into college, I stumbled upon a great career move, which was an experience in the Yellow Pages industry. Remember those?
Wow, man. Yeah.
So that just took you way back. So, but I laugh at it, but I still, to this day, really appreciate being in the Yellow Pages industry because of all the traditional media that's out there. The Yellow Pages were the first company to really kind of recognize and appreciate digital marketing. So I can literally remember when the Yellow Pages introduced web pages and pay per click. I mean, I remember when it was like you could buy $30 for $30 a month. You could get 30 clicks to your website.
Wow.
We didn't know what kind of clicks they were.
30 clicks?
But 30 clicks, 30 visits to your website for $30 a month, and then they'd have like other packages. But, the way that we sold and consulted with businesses back then, it was very much a needs analysis approach to helping small to medium businesses. And it's interesting because even today I go into, TV stations, radio stations, and I see that same approach taking place. And I see that revolution that happened, maybe like 10 years ago, actually kind of still happening today in some of the traditional media outlets. So that presence and that experience in Yellow Pages is extremely valuable.
Interesting, man. So you've pretty much kind of started working with one of the largest companies. I mean, because Yellow Pages is huge. I think they got bought up by AT&T, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so huge company, and you've targeted to working with that same target audience though, with small and like medium-sized businesses,
right?
Which is really cool. Yeah,
that was kind of the launching pad because I loved the Yellow Pages industry. I loved working with those types of businesses, and I loved it because one day I'd be working with an attorney and I'd put the suit on, and the next day or the next hour, literally, I'm working with a plumber, and who knows where, or I'm working with a service contractor, a home improvement guy, and we're literally doing business on the back of his truck or the hood of his truck, So that was the really neat, variety about the Yellow Pages industry, and so that from there, just led to having deep connections and having businesses who really trusted me to get them results. And for 8 years, I did that, and I built a lot of great relationships. So as the internet revolution sort of took place, those businesses needed someone they could trust and someone they have trusted in the past to deliver, to kind of navigate through this new transition for their business. And some of them, as we talked about, they were early adopters and they jumped on really quick. And then others found themselves not really making a change until they got in trouble. And unfortunately, that's still happening. Unfortunately, there are businesses who think they're doing the internet advertising thing, but if they're not doing it right, they sometimes come to work and they realize, hey, I'm in trouble because I'm not doing it the right way.
What's really interesting, man, and yeah, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of things off of that. But
Yeah.
what's really interesting is that lots of my clients are chiropractors, physical therapists, and people that have like maybe a couple of different clinics here and there.
Yeah.
And when I talk to all of them, they say that they already have an ad guy or they have someone who's already helping them out. But then I look at what they're doing, and I'm like, man, it still seems like you guys there's still a lot of gaps in that actual marketing plan or process, man. How do you help companies or get them over that thinking, I guess, of just saying, look, you guys have done ads before, and I know a lot of people who have gone on Facebook and just, threw $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is, onto it, blown it away, and they get any results and have any type of system set up, and they say it was a waste. How do you kind of carry that conversation on, I guess?
Man, I have that conversation almost daily because, every media company is a sales machine now, and so they're bringing in these employees and quickly training them to get out on the streets and push Facebook and push Google and push, let's get these businesses on these programs and let's make sales.
Wow.
And sometimes they're too early to go out and really help, really understand how to grow and really understand strategy when it comes to using these tools. And these are very powerful tools, but it's like any other tool. If it's not used correctly, it can have a negative impact or it could have no impact at all. So yeah, I run into that, frankly, quite a bit. And it is something that is a struggle in the industry because, like you said, these businesses, they want someone they can trust, but yet they're getting called every day by all these different people who want to sell them the same thing. And they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know who to trust in this business, but I want to work with one person that can help me tie all this together so that I can focus on being a chiropractor or I can focus on being an attorney. I don't want to focus on being a marketer.
Mm-hmm. Man, what's so interesting is that it's one of the main reasons why I even started this podcast, because I wanted to change how people viewed sales. I think sales gets such a bad, it's such a bad term for people, like, go on and sell and being sold.
Yes.
And, it has this image in everybody's mind. They think of this, car salesman, slick back hair, and the car costs $2,000 and they're charging you $20, whatever that image is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so why do you think salespeople get that horrible rap, man?
I think the industry is its own cannibal, basically. I think we've done it to ourselves. I read something, I remember, I think it was like 2 years ago, and I was reading this amazing study, and it got down to the most untrusted profession. And I immediately went to used car salesman. But guess what? Guess what was number one?
What?
Advertising sales professional was number one, the most untrusted, most unrespected profession. And that was a wake-up call for me. It had me in check as to, what are you doing? What are you saying to represent your industry? And what are you doing to be, authentic and also communicate that, you genuinely want to help someone. You're not there to make a sale. And I literally I led a sales training course just 2 weeks ago. And in that course, I started with, first of all, I don't want you to come here thinking that we're going to learn sales training. What we're going to learn is communication, because sales is communication. And it really, take that word out of it and just, listen to people and ask them questions and let them tell you what they need and what they want. And then it's up to you to match that with a tool or a service that you can provide. And if you do that correctly, you're not selling, you're not convincing, you're not pushing anything. You're kind of like a doctor making a diagnosis and applying the right medication or the right tool, to solve that issue. And that's how I see sales. I do not see, man, there's some stuff out there like...
Man, there's some wild stuff out there,
my gosh. I've been invited to some training classes on, almost like the art of manipulation.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Get that as far away from me as possible. I don't even want that to enter my, circle.
It's unfortunate that conversation, I feel like, especially, I've been selling for about 10 years, B2B. But, at least 10 years ago, and I've always been interested in sales because my mom was in sales. She used to work for AT&T selling ads.
Really?
So yeah,
That's
it goes
cool.
back. But either way, man, I've always watched her sell, and that's how I got into it. And it was like, it's been it's been this whole history for at least the past 10 years
Mm-hmm.
where it was like, okay, get in there, get the person all confused, twist them up, and then come through and have this tactic that you use at
Right.
what's a good one? Puppy dog clothes or
Yeah.
whatever type of
Oh,
clothes you want to throw out there.
the Columbo
Columbo
clothes.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking about. Columbo
That's like
clothes.
right before you leave, you're like, I got one more
I got
question.
one more for you. And it's like, come on, man. I mean, especially now that people have so much information online, I feel like most people's customers know just as much about their industry as they do, especially if they're operating in a business within it. They know the operational piece of it very well. And with the internet, it's opened up to everybody. People have conversations with other, peers, and they can kind of really peel back that layer of the onion. So
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of overall raw data about what works and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then when a salesperson comes in and hits them with a tactic, I mean, man, it's got to be the worst. Got to leave everybody with the worst taste in the whole room, man.
Well, and you hit it spot on because I'm seeing that more often in any industry that you're in, whether it's auto, whatever the industry is, advertising, marketing, small business, medium business, whatever. Everyone is more knowledgeable.
Yeah.
We have access to more information. So if you go in and you don't really know what you're talking about, but you have these sales tactics, and you're a very well trained manipulator or sales technique,
Mm-hmm.
don't underestimate that small business person because they've done their homework and they can see through things like that.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but and we're talking about probably a small group of people that make a big splash in the industry, but I think for the most part, we just have to make sure as managers and leaders and consultants with organizations that we're constantly telling them how they need to be training their employees and not be pushing sales or pushing things on people that just to get the numbers.
What's the I'm really curious about how you kind of evolved as a entrepreneur because you have your own agency now. You've been doing it for years and years, but I mean a lot of people are starting up social media agencies now these days. It's kind of a new thing. I've seen courses on it and how you can go get it out there and just get it going. And what do you think the toughest part about getting that first client is these days? If you're like a brand new entrepreneur, if you're a brand new owner of a business, say I want to help people run ads on like Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever your platform is. What do you think the toughest?
So I actually help a lot of I love helping small agencies scale because I can remember what it was like to be that small agency that needed help scaling. So I always like to give back whenever that chance exists. So when I'm talking to them now, I often just mention, your local chamber, it depends on where you're at geographically, but almost everywhere in the world, there's a chamber of commerce. There's some sort of business connecting point within the community, some sort of, startup grind area, whatever you want to call it. Connect there if you don't have business connections. I had, like I said, 8 years of Yellow Pages clients. I had people that trusted me. And so if you don't have that, but you have the knowledge and you've applied it and you've kind of perfected your craft and now you want to apply that to business owners, then I would say, get into some sort of networking group. You don't really need to join all of them either. Don't spread yourself too thin. Get in one group that you can really work. Like the Chamber of Commerce was so critical to my success not because I just joined the chamber, but it was because I went to the meetings, I went to the luncheons, I went to they open the door, but you have to walk in and you have to shake the hands and get to know people. And then once you make that one customer, then you have to realize something that's really important in marketing today, especially digital marketing. We have all the data that we want and we can show all kinds of results online, but it's still about that bottom line for that business owner. So if you and here we are going back to my favorite quote, if you get them what they want in that first 90 days that you're with them, they're going to go tell their friends, and they're going to be like, hey, I found a dude, or I found this girl at this event, this lady, whatever, and you got to talk to them. And, then your next customer comes, and from there, it just continues to grow. And then the other advice I would give that I needed myself was a lot of us entrepreneurs tend to be hustlers.
Yeah.
Like we run 90 miles an hour. We want to build this big empire as fast as possible. don't do that.
Interesting.
Take a deep breath, slow down, and, remember that, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Build it the right way.
Right.
Man, it's really interesting because I have numerous friends that are launching agencies and taking different approaches to it. But I love the fact that you said get social, basically, by
Yep.
going to the network events, by meeting people face to face,
Oh, yeah.
doing the old school stuff, getting belly to belly.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I mean, man, I think there's a lot of tactics that we can use online, and I'm guilty of using some of them. but there's nothing better than saying, you know what, I'm gonna just look another person in the eye and say, what's going on? What are you working on? What are you up to?
You're right. I still tell, and I even talked to my son recently about, how he was approaching sports, and he'll tell you that, I've taught him there's nothing better than a handshake.
Yeah.
Going in and having that face-to-face conversation, introducing yourself, someone looks you eye to eye, and having that handshake. There's no tool, tactic, sales technique to this day, in my opinion, more powerful than that.
Oh man, it's pretty funny too how it's so easy to kind of get away from that. Like
Sure.
one of the things that I like to expose about myself on the show is that I when I first got started in sales, I was making outbound calls, making like 150 calls a day, just hitting the heart right on the phone, grunt work, and man, keeping your word on the line. Say, hey, I'm gonna call you back Thursday at 10. Not like 11:15 on Thursday, but 9:55. I'm on the horn, like, hey, you got 5. Man, that stuff makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Keeping your word, and in social media marketing and strategy, when I'm on stage or at a group or writing an article, blog, whatever, I talk about being authentic, and I recommend for businesses to stay authentic in social media. But we got to remember that we got to be authentic in person too.
Yep.
So if we tell someone I'm going to call you back at 10, you got to call them back at 10. Or, if you meet someone, like this, be yourself, be authentic, wherever you're at.
Yeah.
Social media is just another place you're at. But, you don't need to have 20 personalities.
Yeah. Man, but I mean, like even like 2-3 years ago, I remember people talking about it, and they were like, "Yeah, who you are on LinkedIn should be different than who you are on Instagram."
Well, yeah, that's a good point, because you can take a different tone in different platforms. But what I'm saying, what I guess I would say to that is, don't be a different person,
Sure.
don't be a different business, but show a different side of your personality in the right place. So it's and to take that offline for a minute, how you conduct yourself in the coffee shop is probably different than the boardroom.
Yeah.
So, when you're in LinkedIn, you're kind of more in the boardroom, and when you're on Instagram, you're kind of more in the coffee shop or Facebook. So I kind of look at it like that, but that is a very valid point. I'm glad you brought that up.
I mean, I think Alton, man, I think your whole group, man, is really going to be it's really going to blur the lines a lot, because there's going to be so much information from the time you guys first jump on. Do you have an account already? Okay. That's awesome. I mean, and so you're documenting your whole life journey whenever you started, and people are gonna be able to look back at you and say, "Oh, I remember Alton. I've seen him since he was 12."
Exactly.
Type of stuff up on like Facebook. Man, I'm really glad they didn't have that up and running when I was in my mid-20s. I'm glad I didn't jump on up until a little bit further down the line. After I matured a little bit, I mean, you guys probably will be looking at me with a side eye. but
No. I tell my kids almost weekly, I don't care if it says it'll disappear. I don't care if it says we can't, that you can permanently delete this.
It's
Forget
in there.
it.
It's in there. Oh yeah, 100%. All right, man. So you know what? We're almost about to wrap up, man. But you're gonna be speaking tomorrow, and you're gonna be dropping a lot of different jewels about how people could kind of push themselves. What's one major thing, if you're a medium to like small size business, that you would want to drive home? If you had any listeners there in the audience, you would say, look, you guys are on social, you should be doing blank.
So what I'm going to talk about tomorrow in the advanced social media strategy class is creating wow moments in social media. And so I would have to say for businesses to take advantage of wow moments more. And what I mean by that is, a lot of us I see different pages, but I see the same style of communication. It's like, everybody's got their quote of the day, their recipe, and now everybody wants to try to figure out how to put the text on the video square. And so we all try to do the same thing. And what I'm going to be showing them is it's really some cool stuff. Like I'm going to be pulling back the curtain on some strategies by Wendy's and Samsung at the Oscars, and some really neat strategies that people have seen and experienced, but they didn't realize it was a strategy. And so, like for example, Mother's Day, don't post Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day. Plan a strategy, plan something really big that wraps Father's Day around your business and your brand and really pulls people in. And that's what I'm trying to get people to do, so that they can look at the year and they can say, okay, 4 times this year, we're going to have a big wow moment on social media, versus planning a content calendar for the whole year. And it's really, almost repetitive. Because again, like you say, you got to go back to being authentic. And when people see your Facebook page or your Instagram or whatever it is, and it's this monotonous kind of same thing every week, consumers see that and they're turned off by it. So we have to mix it up. And so if I can get more businesses to create wow moments, even 4 times a year, I can make a difference in their business.
I like that, man. Do you mind just giving one quick example of how that will look?
So yeah, man. I guess the challenge is trying to think of just one. I was going to go with the, like the big Wendy's stuff that's going on right now, and IHOP switching the P to the B. And
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, so IHOP, he saw it today. So we drove by IHOP, and he's like, "Why did they switch the P to a B?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is a social media thing they're doing. They turned the P into a B on all their stores because they're launching burgers."
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah. And so, and then Wendy's, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, and he's already laughing. Wendy's on Twitter is crazy snarky. Like they're roasting everybody in the industry.
I've heard about this. Yeah.
And so they roasted IHOP for doing it.
Oh, really?
Somebody contacted Wendy's on Twitter and said, "Hey, you just going to stand around and let IHOP take the burger business?"
Wow.
And Wendy's literally tweeted back, "We're not too scared of people who have realized that," what was the tweet?
Pancakes are too hard. I mean, no, it was like,
"We're not too scared of a company who has realized that making pancakes has become too difficult." So, I mean, but no, a real wow moment for a small business would be, I had a small pharmacy, been in town forever, small town, and, these big pharmacies moving in, and they're just, worried they're going to take their business. And so, I sat down with them and I said, "Well, what do you do that's different from these guys? What makes you great? Why do people continue to buy from you for all these years?" And when they told me that, we did this cool video. I don't know if you remember when Mac versus PC was out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So that was a legendary video, right? So we took this guy, with the kind of not too casual, but had his kind of casual clothes on, that works at the local hometown pharmacy, and he's standing next to the corporate, big box chain pharmacy, and they're talking about what we have and what we have side by side. And so we push that out there to remind people, of the value that you get in your hometown pharmacy that's so easy to forget, and is a drive-through really convenient, or is home delivery convenient, or,
right.
Some of the things that your small town pharmacies do. And that was so successful for that pharmacy. Got people talking, got people thinking first. So, I love that. I love helping. I mean, I love working with all businesses, the biggest to, but I really enjoy that whole David Goliath thing, taking that small business that's maybe struggling a little bit, or maybe they're getting pounded on by competition, and showing them, hey, you're great at something, but you're not telling people about it, and you're not telling people about it the right way. So let's go with it, and that's what I love. That fires me up already. So
that's super cool too, man.
It's hard to get me fired up after today, after the experience,
after the LA excursion, after that LA full
almost roof collapse.
Yeah.
In the car.
That's gonna be a good story too, though, man. Man, you know what though, man? I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, me too, man.
I really love the
amazing
fact that you're working with like a lot of small businesses. I think that they really need a champion. I think a lot of people love to gravitate towards the larger companies, and because they got the big budgets, right?
Right.
And you could be super creative with them, and they give you a lot more leeway. But small businesses need to see the ROI. I mean, they need to have a win,
Yes.
like from every campaign almost, I feel like.
They got to be efficient, super efficient with their dollars. And the other thing that I know we're getting short on time, but the other thing I would tell businesses is this: in the past, you were going to broadcasters to get your message out there. Now you are the broadcaster.
Right.
Think about it. You have the media platform, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Google, whatever. You have the production team in-house. You got the iPhone. You got a great video. You got, audio. You are the broadcast company. So you just have to put the strategy together and deliver that and distribute that message and then monetize it. But you no longer really are dependent upon broadcast companies. They are just a part of the toolbox, whereas they used to be the necessity,
Super cool, man. It's so true, man. I mean, so many small businesses have so much more power these days, and that's why it's going to be pretty interesting, man. It's going to be interesting to kind of see how people start to really understand their all these capabilities and the amount of reach that they have now, especially when they focus on being great in their own business. If they can stay in their lane, they don't have to try to be the next AT&T or whoever their biggest competition is out there, but they can do what they do best in their own backyard, man. So it's pretty cool.
You don't have to eat the whole pie.
No, you don't have to, man. But some people try.
They do try,
Well,
but there's some what is it? Not, there's some side effects that come along with trying to eat the whole pie.
Exactly. You have a couple to follow up.
Speaking of pie, though.
Here we go.
Back to food.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, man, I have this question I ask everybody right before we get out of here. I live by this motto called the Triple G motto, and it's 3 G's. It's growth, grit, and give. And so if you had to put those in order, how would you put it in order for yourself? Growth, grit, and give.
Silence.
Yeah, it's good, man.
So that is really good stuff there. So I would probably put that in the order of grit first, give second, and growth.
Nice, man.
Because I think that falls into my philosophy, which goes back to the quote earlier. I think first, you got to have like the little book. I love this little yellow book out here. I don't know if you've seen it, the Doer book or whatever. It's just a little illustrated, simple little book, but it said goals, because you can't win if you don't have one. And, that's so true. So, but you also got to have that grit, and nothing ever gets done until you actually start. So many great things are in people's mind, but just don't start. And so you got to have that grit, I think, to start. And then you have constantly got to give yourself. You got to give all of yourself in everything that you do. And if you do that, the growth is going to happen. That's a side effect of the grit and the giving.
I love it, man. Jeff, I really enjoyed this.
Man, this
Alton,
was great.
too, man. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. Seriously.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Yeah. First podcast, right?
This is the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
absolutely.
dude. Yeah, we can kind of ink that, man. All right, Jeff, right before we get out of here, tell everybody how to find you, man.
Okay, so if you want to find me, if you Google Jeff Turnbow, you're going to find me in a lot of different places, but I spend a lot of my time on Facebook, so at Real Jeff Turnbow, JeffTurnbow.com, at Reach Turnbow. I also have ReachTurnbow.com. So those are the way to get in touch with me. And, just before we close out, I just want to say to you also, I've Googled you, got to know you before I came in here. Man, you were touching not small, but all of the business community. And so I just want to say thanks, because I love connecting and working with people that do that. So
appreciate that, man. Seriously. Well, Jeff and Alton, I really appreciate you guys jumping on. Until next time, guys, thank you so much.
I wake up in the morning, put my chucks on. Wake up in the morning, put my chucks on.